Welcome everyone to the channel. How you all doing? Hope you all doing well. Before we get started, don't forget to hit the like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also don't forget to go check out Logan Munyon's channel, that sister channel of ours. If you know someone or if you are into that Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh, Fortnite, Smite, and all those other games that he doesn't put on his channel, go check him out. Give him a subscribe, give him a like. But further, go do that in your spare time. Let's pay attention on what's going to happen now, guys. We're doing our pass to you that we normally do on a Sunday or a Monday. This week I've got another very interesting little pancake that I want to put up. And this, I believe, I'm going to start off with straight off the bat by saying I think this should be a BR. Anything from 1 to 2, okay? Battle rating of 1 to 2, anywhere between there. But I think this should come in as maybe a battle pass vehicle. Now, it's a Polish vehicle. I've done a Polish vehicle before, so I will put it in the end screen, at the end screen. I'll link it in. It's the same family of vehicles. It's the TKS family of tank from tankettes that the Polish built. So basically, how this thing came about, guys, was that when Poland gained its independence after World War II, or was given the state of Poland after the League of Nations, or that thing that couldn't do anything like NATO's doing today, Poland received a lot of vehicles from France, FT tanks and that, and they were getting outdated. After fighting several wars around there, the Polish-Russo War, they had a war with Latvia, they had a war with Czechoslovakia, they helped some German minority group also in a civil war. Quite a big, I was watching a video just now on it, quite a big history, okay? Quite a bit of things to know there. They realized the FT tank was a bit outdated and a bit old in the tooth now. So they wanted something a bit newer. So they went out and tried to purchase some armored cars from France and all over the place, but no one really wanted to budge and nothing met their requirements. So and the industrial capacity couldn't allow them to build anything really major like Germany or Britain or America or France. So they tried to figure a way around this. And after the coup, I can't remember the general's name, he invested a lot of money into the tank development program, and he came up with the TKS family of tankettes. Now, they came out in different variants. They came out in flamethrowers. They came out in on 20mm auto. They came out in 7.6. I think there was even a 14mm machine gun versions. They came out in very different things. But this was early. This was pre-war. But before Germany invaded, they realized that these tanks were also getting a bit old in the tooth. And the auto 20mm that there is a video on the channel about could stand up to Panzer 1s and Panzer 2s, and I think even up to a Panzer 3. But one shot, it would be knocked out. But if it was sealed, covered and hidden, it could do quite a bit of damage. So the Polish army wanted a newer tank, something with a bit more punch. So they went to the design bureau. They went to the place that designed it. I don't know why they have to name the thing so funny. The Armored Weapon Technology Research Bureau in Warsaw, to start working on a tank type of destroyer. And they came up with the, let me just find my piece of paper. It is the TKSD. Okay, guys. And it was quite successful. And why I said I would like to see this as a battle pass vehicle as a premium, because there were 2 prototypes made. That's all they could make by the time everything went to hell. So they made 2 prototypes, and they were quite happy with it. And it's got some unusual, interesting little features, this tank. But it also had a lot of drawbacks. The tracks weren't very good. The suspension wasn't very good. Crew was small. Armor was weak. It is originally designed off a artillery tractor, the C2P artillery tractor, light artillery tractor. So What they did was they took this, they stuck some armor plates on it, which wasn't very thick. Let me see if I can get the thickness of... we can somewhat run through now quickly some information on the vehicle. Sorry. Crew was 4. Combat weight was 25 tons without gun. 2.5 tons without gun. With gun was 3.1 tons. So a very light vehicle. Sorry guys, I just got to highlight here. Then total length was 3.26 meters, which is not bad. Whole length were it was total length was 3.26 meters. Whole length was about 2.89 meters. So the 3.26 I presume is with the gun. Width, the width was 1.8 meters, quite low actually. The width was quite a small tank. For crew of 4, that is very narrow. Height was 1.25. Ground clearance was 30 centimeters. You get this thing stuck on a rock, you're not coming off anywhere. Track width was 17 centimeters. So you see it was very small tracks on this tank. That was a big problem when it comes to tank design, because it slows your tank down, doesn't have the off-road capabilities that it should have, because you've got ground pressure that you got to work out and all of that. So that all plays an interesting fact, especially in Poland where it's snowy and that. A bit of a thicker track is actually a better for a vehicle. But in sandy conditions, mud conditions, a thin track is also not good. You need a bit of a thicker track. That's why in desert climate countries, they preferred armored vehicles over tracked vehicles, because they are a bit better on the sandy. So yeah, that's what also Poland was aiming for the armored vehicles, but couldn't find anything. So distance between track centers was 1.45 meters. Track length was 1.7 meters. Very small vehicle. Very, very damn small, guys. Maximum road speed was 40 to 42 kilometers. That's still on a very good road. So let's say on a dirt road, you're looking at about 30 kilometers, in my opinion. Range on roads, off-road. On roads was 220, off-roads was 120. Check that description, see on how hard the vehicle must move to get to that distance, that it actually drops almost by half the distance that it can travel on farm territory or flat lands or something. Fuel consumption's a question mark. They're not sure. It had a 14.8 HP engine. Ground pressure was 0.56 kilojoules, which is very little. Slope was 38 centimeters. Widening depth was 50 centimeters. Ditch clearance was 1.2. So they don't really give much on the armor thickness, but I can imagine it wasn't very thick. I can imagine this was almost bug roll armor thickness on this thing. If you just look at that, it's like basically just like a normal sheet metal. So I would say, but out of the work, the design could carry a specified chassis immune against 7.9 millimeter AP bullets. Okay, so yeah, it could stand quite a high bullet, but that's only 7, so a 50 cal should run right through you. Sorry guys, let me change the picture a bit so you can see. Then some other information that I've got on it here. It was the 37 millimeter. Sorry if you hear the child and everything in the background. We've got some visitors over. Was the 37 millimeter WZ-36 Bofors anti-tank gun. There was the first prototype was finished in 1937. And then another prototype was later also completed. And I was also reading that it could tow the other 37 millimeter gun, and if they wanted, they could remove this front 37 millimeter gun to use it in a field position. There you can see quite a nice drawing. After the second prototype was built, they sent it back to the factory and they made a lot more changes to it. They increased the width of the tracks. They increased the engine size. It was using Fiat engines, and then they changed, and they went through a lot design process. Like, that was one of the problems with the the German, with the Polish. They were too slow to implement something, just like the Italians. They had the design, but they were too slow to bring the stuff into production. Or else they would have had, this is the other variant. This is the, so I just got this picture here. Guys, I'll tell you now, this is the other variant, the TKD. This is just the TKD. And this is also, it's got a bit of a dopier gun, a bit of a dopier screen. But I decided to do it on the TKSD. I decided to do it on that one because I like the flowing shape of this. So I'm a big tank destroyer player. I like the tank destroyers. You could also have this with the 47mm gun if you want to. They don't give any armor penetration. It could carry 120 rounds. And then it would also have the trailer behind it, which carried extra rounds, I presume. Or the trailer carried the majority of the rounds. 24 crates with 5 rounds. Okay, so it is the trailer that carried the most of the rounds. Armor penetration, I don't see really anything, but we can imagine it could be the same as the other 37mm. Okay, so this vehicle, I've got just saw in something interesting. Production of the TKSD was considered but have not been ordered. Eventually, the price of the TKSD was estimated to be about 65,000 zlotys, including 35 to 45 zlotys basic tractor costs. So it would have cost a shitload of money. I mean, the rand is equivalent. We got to pay like 3,000 rand for 1 Polish zlotys. I think you say it like that. So if I'm saying it wrong, just hit me up in the comments. Yeah, so quite an interesting vehicle. Something that I think could have a space in the game. Where would I put it? Well, we've been noticing a trend going that these minor nations and that we put with the Swedes. But I don't know. I think I would. You could put the Poles. You could put the Poles with the Russians, but it doesn't feel right. Could put it with the Brits, but the Brits have already got a sub-tech tree, the South African. The Swedes, I don't know. Maybe they should bring out another tech tree where they add like Hungary, Romania, Poland, and all of these countries and add them into that tech tree. Or they could move the Hungarians and that to the German tech tree. So it's quite a difficult one. Let me know in the comments, where do you think Poland should fit in with who? I can't think. I just don't feel right putting them with the Russians. I don't think it will be political or nice. I just don't think it's right putting that with them. So yeah, guys, don't forget to hit the like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's try to reach 350 before the end of the year. I think we're short like 3 subscribers. And let me know what you think about this vehicle. Keep well, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.